And so I want to jump into the conversation that I want to have with you all. So I'm going to give you all a few moments to come in and let the broadcast get up and running. You'll see some pictures here on the screens. You see some pictures here. And hold on. All right. So welcome in everybody. Welcome. I'm your host, Tonya TKO. And I am making this call to action for people who are in the New York metro tri-state area. If you're able to get to New York and meet with me, I am giving away Krale, right? Now, what is Krale, you may say? Okay, you know what? I'll start it after I see people come in so that I don't have to re-say everything for the people who are coming in. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, I see we're up and running on YouTube. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Mindy. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today's broadcast is a desperate plea. Desperate plea. So I'm in the New York tri-state area and I am a gardener, as you all know. And you all know that I have been through some tremendous things over the past few years, right? So how are you all doing? Hey, Zahara. Hey, Bo. How are you all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. So this is what's going on, and I probably do need to make a separate channel to talk about my gardening stuff because apparently this is a really big part of my life, and I want to be able to be among like minds. Hey, Cleo, so that I can do things like this because I'm looking to help somebody who may be a new gardener yourself and you may not know how to grow food, right? Hey, Queen Lynn. Hey, hey. Maybe you've always wanted to get into it, but you just weren't sure how. You know what? I also have some plum tomatoes that I'm probably going to need to give away as well because I saw that they started sprouting up. Okay, so let me tell you all how we got here. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. This is a picture. Oh, I'll tell you all what's going on, right? All right. Oh goodness, Alexa has 3 finals left. Child, listen, I don't even have the time to be making this video, but I just came in from outside and I said, you know what, if I don't make this video now, I'm gonna run out of time because life is continuing to go on. I'm telling you, in the garden, there are life lessons that are everywhere. So let me tell you what happened. Okay. So 2 years ago, I bought a little kale plant. I bought 4 of them. Only 2 of them survived, right? Because aphids had taken over my garden. They ravished it. I just got so upset that I couldn't even. I couldn't be bothered with it anymore. So I just left the kale in the ground. Who knew that if you leave kale in the ground over the winter, in the spring, it'll bloom flowers, right? And we know that flowers are like the womb, right? That needs the fertilizer in order to become fruit, well, to become seed, right? Or fruit, right? So listen to what happened. I had gotten some collard greens from the grocery store and I put the stumps in the ground, right? And I was like, I wasn't really thinking much of it, but it started to grow leaves. And every once in a while during the winter, I would go out and I would clip off leaves and I would use it like lettuce, right? So what happened is that the stumps that were out there and I put them out there in November because there was what do you call that? The giving of thanks day, right? And so in the spring, it started to produce flowers too. So I said, you know what? I wasn't really too fond of the kale that I grew because kale took a really long time to just kind of get the stems out and I had to fight against the pests or whatnot. So I said, let me be a mad scientist because I heard that you can cross-pollinate greens, right? So I took my kale and I took my collard greens and I put the flowers, I put the plants all together so that the flowers were all intertwined. And then I let the birds and the bees do their thing. The bees came around and jumped from flower to flower, pollinating and producing seed, right? This is how life is formed. And then I got unwell. I had a big operation last year and things just kind of went awry, right? And so I just kind of forgot about my garden. I had to really just concentrate on myself and healing. So I just left it there. And I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can get something out of some of these seeds, right? So I was like, let me see what will happen. And so I buried, let me tell you, they were old, craggly, dried out, had been out over the winter. There was like, it looked like a little bit of mildew and stuff on it. Whatever it was, it looked like it was waterlogged because it had been out all winter. So I didn't think anything would grow from it. I put it in the ground and nothing was happening. So what I went and I did was I went and I planted some pure seeds, right? So these are pure seeds from the seed cellar that I put inside little pots. And then guess what happened? The Krale started growing. The Krale started growing. And so this is what Alexa's saying the other year was aphids. Now it's squirrels. The gardening life is no joke. Let me tell you, the garden is a microcosm for real life. And speaking of the squirrels, I have decided that I'm not going to murder squirrels. They have a right to be here just like any of us. I don't have the right to take a squirrel's life. So I did put a trap out there for the squirrel. And the squirrels did not go into the doggone trap because you can trap them and then relocate them, right? And these traps are damn expensive, like $75+ per trap. And I was like, for that, I could just get some BB gun pellets. But no, I realized that I have to be in concordance with nature. I'm like, why don't these squirrels go to the park? I don't know if they're territorial, but if a squirrel goes in there and gets trapped, it's getting sent to the park so it can go eat some acorns. It does not need to be eating gardening food. So that is what I have decided. I've also been looking into creating a scarecrow because I realized that these squirrels, they're smart enough to know what a human is. Because when I come out, those squirrels start running. Or last year, they started running. Like they would be bold, sitting on top of the shed, eating these tomatoes. And they was like, and then they would toss down half the tomato on the ground and then go for a new one. And then when they would see me come out, they would go scattering. So I'm also looking into a scarecrow. So I'm thinking of nonviolent solutions for this problem because whenever you grow, there's going to be critters that are going to come to try to get the food. Raccoons, because now it's squirrels. Then I start shooting down squirrels. Then what happens when it's the raccoons? Then I start shooting down raccoons. Then there's cats that have gotten out of their house who want a little tomato or watermelon. Now I'm shooting down cats, everything. So I decided I have to just pull it way back. So nonetheless, so this is what I am proposing. I'm going to have to kill these seeds because collard greens grows pretty big. And so they're small now and manageable, but I really only need about 12 and I probably have about 50 plus. How many are we seeing here? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I probably have over 100 because seeds are so plentiful. I probably shouldn't have put them all in the ground, but I really didn't think that any of them were going to grow. That's why I went and planted some other ones. So please do me a favor, give me some ideas. My idea is that I could come to you all and somebody out there has been wanting to grow kale or collard greens or is kind of experimental and interested in maybe some Krale, right? So I put covers on last year. I put covers on last year, and the moisture and humidity made the plants get dark spots on them. Peter Cottontail. You know what? Thank goodness in New York, I haven't seen rabbits in New York. But this is what I'm saying. In different parts of the country, there's different critters that come out for the food. So nonetheless, who here is in the New York tri-state area who wants to try their hand at growing collard greens slash kale, Krale, and would like some seedlings? If you would like a seedling, put up one. You can send me a message on my website. I will take it out of here and put it in a little container for you, and I'll give you about 4 of them so that you can experiment. But time is of the essence because they're little now, but you know how big collard green gets, so they cannot stay this close together. So I am going to have to kill some of them, and I don't want to do that. I'm like, I know in the times that we're in, there are people who want to grow. So maybe if I make this video, there will be somebody who wants to grow and they want some seedlings. Give a home to a seedling. Can you find it in your heart to open up your home to a little seed that wants to live? Call the number now. With your care and raising, you can create something lovely for you to eat at the end of this summer. So that is my beckon to the people out there. Oh, JC, I got a customer. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, JC, I'm so happy. Look at there. We have one plant mama. You know what? I'm going to open up my lines for you, JC. Call me and let me know what you plan to do with this plant. Hold on. Let me get my phone lines open. Okay. Here we go. 323-488-3149. Here is the number on the screen right there. 323-488-3149. JC. I'm talking about in the arms of an angel, child. Listen. All right, JC, call the number. Call the number. I'm here. I want to find out what you're going to do with these little seedlings. All right, 323-488-3149. Here we have on the little screen right there, you'll see your little buddy right there waiting for a happy home to be inducted into. JC, can you call in? I don't even know if you can. You might be at work. You might be with the kids or grandkids or whatever. Can you call in right now? Can you open up your arms? Edna, how are you? So I am giving away collard greens slash kale cross-pollinated seeds. I don't know what it's going to grow into. It could grow into collards. It could grow into kale. It could grow into a mix of the two. I don't know. Yes, call in. 323-488-3149. And so we got one person. I'm looking for, I need a few more people because I have about 100 little seedlings. Here is you're in your life with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, I'm JC, which is really like Jody Ann. How are you, Tonya? How
Oh,
are you?
JC, how are you? How are
I'm
you?
wonderful. Yes, so happy that you invited me to call in. Thank you.
Yes, I'm giving these lovely little seedlings are going to enter into your home or your garden. So tell me, what are you planning to do with the seedlings?
So I have a small backyard. My parents, before they moved back to Jamaica, they used to grow like cucumber and mint and like all kinds of like little
Mm-hmm,
vegetables, and
mm-hmm.
I haven't really been utilizing it. So
Mm.
yeah, I could maybe like start to grow stuff in the backyard now.
Oh, would you like some plum
Yeah.
tomatoes?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Thank you. That's so
Oh,
generous. Thank you.
wonderful. Yeah, so I
So
have so
sweet.
I put some seeds in. So I didn't know it would grow, but I had a old plum tomato was in the bottom
Yes.
of the refrigerator, and it had gone bad. It had like mold on it. So I said,
Oh.
let me just squeeze these seeds out. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I squeezed the seeds out. I don't have pictures of your little plum plant, but
Hmm.
they are growing out there, a lot of them, because one tomato has like 100 seeds. So I
Oh.
can also give you some tomatoes.
Oh my gosh, that's really really sweet of you. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Yay! So so you have the space, but do you garden now?
I don't really garden now, but I'm trying to like. So I had three jobs, and I just cut back on one. I'm trying to like grow more hobbies instead of just working. You know, money is important, but it's
Mm-hmm.
important also to feed your spirit and your soul. So gardening has always been something that I wanted to pick up. My father moved back to Jamaica, and he's a farmer actually. So
Mm,
I think maybe I
nice.
could learn from him. Pick up
Oh, that's
some good tips from
wonderful.
him.
And you're getting it right
Yeah.
from the nursery, so they're very young, and so you get a chance
Yes.
to really kind of see them along their journey
Yes.
into where and what it is that they will become. I'm really interested in seeing what yours will become too, whether or not it'll be kale or collard greens. I'm really curious about that because, like I said, I did the cross pollination thing. So I'm really happy. I'm
Mm.
so glad. So let's talk behind the scenes. Send me a message on my website and we'll coordinate. Can you get to Harlem?
I can, yeah. I'm in the Bronx, so Harlem's not a problem at all.
Okay, wonderful. So we can meet up in Harlem and I can give you your new little friends.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for taking some
Yeah.
of these seeds off of, not off of
You
my
made my
hands, but
day.
making a home for some collard greens
Yes.
and some little plum tomatoes.
Oh, thank you made my day. Truly did. Thank you so much.
Really? This made your day?
It doesn't take much to make me happy, so absolutely. Yes,
Oh,
it
it's
did.
the
Yeah.
little things. I'm so glad to hear that. Well, JC, you have made my day being the first one who has taken some of these little collard greens. So I'm
Oh,
going to
beautiful.
continue to beseech the crowd and see if I can get other people to come and adopt a collard green plant. Okay? Thank you so much, JC.
I think thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yay! So we had our first person. So now I'm looking for about I need about 10 more people to adopt a collard greens plant. I see somebody is growing blueberry and raspberry. I'm happy for you too. That is going to probably attract a lot of birds. So just start thinking of your solution, right? Hey Lindsay, welcome, welcome. So let me put these little darlings back up on the screen so you can see what it is that we're talking about. So you get the chance and the opportunity to nurture some young seeds into fruition. This is a cross pollination between kale and collard greens. So if you're a greens gal, this is your opportunity to be able to open your home. And yes, you can grow these in a container. Great question, Asa. I am growing mine in a raised bed right now. So I have more to give away. So who is going to be the next person who is in the New York tri-state area? If you can get to Harlem, you can come from Philly, you can come from Baltimore, you can come from Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts. If you can get to the Harlem area, I have some collard greens, some Krale, kale collard green hybrid for you, right? So we are not supporting Amazon. So we are buying local and we are supporting businesses that support us. Okay, Pink. So, is there anyone else in the New York tri-state area? You can contact me after this video has been put up. See, what's going to happen is they're too close together right now because there's a lot of them that are growing. And so I'm going to end up killing most of them if I don't find a happy home. So we have one person, JC, who is going to meet me in Harlem and pick up some plants, right? So I'm going to give her some plum tomato seeds and I'm also going to give her some Krale. Erin is saying the birds got my blueberries last year. Pink is saying they didn't have anything local, LOL. Okay, they have things that are local. They have things that are local. They do. You just have to be a little more creative. Aldi's, which supports us, Aldi's has greenhouses, mini greenhouses that we can buy. I got my mini greenhouse at Aldi, right? All right. All right. So, no one else is in the New York tri-state area. Bring is saying make your own greenhouse with a net. Well, you know what? I think part of the appeal of the greenhouse is that it has a UV resistant plastic or covering that will keep the moisture and the warmth in. So you want that greenhouse effect. You want that sun to come in and that heat to get trapped in there so that you can be able to sprout in the colder months. But I don't know where would be colder than New York now at this time of year because every place is warmer. We're in the Northeast. I guess there could be because I think there's 11 zones and New York is like zone 7 or something like that. So, anybody else? Lindsay, I know that you're a grower, but I know you're very, very, very far away across the pond. So, come in, come one, come all. Take a look at these little beauties on the screen. They may be small now, but in just a few weeks, you are going to have this is why time is of the essence. You're going to have a much larger plant that is going to be growing leaves. And these are very easy to care for. And if you don't have a green thumb, which is fine, you don't have to feel guilty because if they don't survive, that's fine because they were going to get plucked out anyway. And I hate plucking, but so like last year I had because I planted all the tomatoes that I could plant and the rest had to be plucked out. And they had to I couldn't bear to kill a tomato plant. So I ended up just keeping them in the greenhouse and they weren't very happy in there because they couldn't reach their full potential. And then when the cold came, they ended up dying anyway. So, good morning, desperately seeking self. I love that. All right. So, as we see on the screen here, we have some little beauties that are just coming out of the ground. Some Krale, some Kale Collard cross-pollinations that you can grow in a pot on your balcony. If you don't have a backyard, you can just put it in a little pot. You can you can even use a bucket. Just put some drain holes in the bottom and all you have to do is water. These are greens, so they're gonna want a lot of nitrogen. Let me see natural nitrogen. Let's see what we have. All right, how to add nitrogen to the soil 10E. What the F? Oh, wow. Wood ash. You can grow in a planter, Jay Shay. Jay Say, we are bringing another person into the fold. Jay, yes. So this is right here. Coffee grounds. Let's take a look at natural ways to add nitrogen to the soil. Nitrogen is going to help those leaves grow and grow a lot. So you can do coffee grounds, compost, manure. Well, not human. So let's just move past that. Grass clipping, wood ash, alfalfa meal, blood meal, feather meal, fish emulsion. I have some of that. And plant legumes. That's interesting. So Pink is saying, I saw a video of people using storage containers and other things. Yes, yes. There are plenty of ways. If you have received a package in the mail, right? You can use the box. You can line the box in with a plastic garbage bag. Just make sure that you have some drain holes down there. Just put a whole bunch of drain holes. Put the plastic inside of the paper box, and then you put your dirt inside, and then you can put your collards in there. So Jay, come on and call me up. 323-488-3149. We're gonna meet up in Harlem, and I'm going to get you some collard greens, some Krale, it's a cross-pollination, some seeds. Yeah, I'm gonna put them in a little container for you. So call in on the line 323-488-3149. I want to speak to the next home that's going to be taking in the collard greens. So you know what? Now is your time. If you've been thinking about growing, it's been on your heart and mind. If you know somebody else that's been thinking about growing and you're experimental and like to try things, try and grow this. I cross-pollinated kale and collard greens, so I don't know what it's going to turn out like. And we can be like an extended adoption family. Adopt this plant today. So, 323-488, Jay, say, I'd love to hear from you and find out where these little collard green kale mixes are going to go. Interplanting with legumes will also introduce nitrogen. Really? I don't know because the legumes grow so wild. So, because I am growing some snow peas. You know what? I might have extra snow peas because I put a whole bunch of them in the ground and now they're starting to come up. I might even have extra cucumber, but I'm waiting for those to sprout. I just don't know what's going to happen. I put honestly, I put about 1,000 seeds of cucumbers in the ground because I had a big fat cucumber. It was frozen and I wasn't sure if they were going to grow. So I put them in the ground. And if they start to sprout, I'm going to have a lot of those too. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Jay Shay calling from Brooklyn.
Hey, Jay! Okay. So talk to me about
Hey,
what you plan to do with the collard greens.
I'm gonna, as I said in the chat, I'm thinking about doing a planter because I'm very, very new to this. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going one step at a time. I also have a fire escape, so I can put it out there as well
Oh, that's wonderful. I
in
love
the flower
this.
pot.
Yeah, so the collard greens are going to they're just gonna grow. You know how collard greens are. And imagine,
hmm
do you have kids?
No, I don't have young children. My kids are adults.
Oh, okay, so they're big because young children love to garden
Yeah,
and they love to
yeah,
eat what it is that they've grown. But
right.
if the kids are all big and out of the house, then do you have grandkids?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
Not yet.
because this is a wonderful way for children to
Yeah.
eat. Because I remember I didn't like my veggies when I was a little girl until I started
Veggies.
growing lima beans, and
Mhm. Oh
the
wow.
teacher gave us like a napkin with lima beans so that we could see the
Right.
root coming out, and then my parents put it in the
Mhm.
ground and they grew a whole bunch of lima beans and my parents picked them, and I was like, well, these are my lima beans. So then started eating some, and I was like, lima beans are actually
Right.
pretty good. But it was in growing
Right.
them that I came to love lima beans. Even to this day, I just love the flavor of lima beans because I had them so young. So, What do you plan to do with your collard greens? How many do you want? How many seedlings do you want?
As much as you can give me, because unfortunately, my adult children are still living in my home. So whatever you can spare will be greatly appreciated.
Oh, well, I have hundreds of them, so I can give
Oh,
you about
well,
five then.
okay. Okay, whatever. Like, we're a family of four, so
What'd you say?
we're a family of four, so that's whatever you can give.
Yeah, yeah. No, I want to give
Be
away as
gladly
many as I
appreciated.
can. But I want to kind of
Okay.
find out what your situation is so I know how big of a space you're
Right.
growing in so that you can be able to,
Right.
maximize your space. And so the other young lady, I offered her some plum tomatoes, but because you're new, I don't know about that now.
Okay.
I don't know about the because tomatoes take a little bit more care and they also grow really big.
Okay. So so probably not the tomato. I probably have space for that. But
Yeah,
if it can grow on a planter, I can do it.
you know, I can I'll see about the tomato. I might be able to throw in a
Okay.
little plum tomato, and you just have
Okay.
to have more. You just have to have a different planter for that. But you can make a planter out of a
Okay, I
box
see.
with plastic,
Mhm.
a garbage
Okay.
bag. You know what I mean?
I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn. Yes,
That's wonderful. I'm
absolutely.
so glad and happy to hear
Okay.
that. So, you know what? Just send me a
Thank you
message on
so
my
much.
website, tanyatko.com/contact, and let's set up a time
Okay.
to meet. You can get to Harlem, right?
Yes. I'm in Brooklyn.
All right,
No
wonderful,
problem.
wonderful. Okay, perfect, perfect.
All right. So good talking to you.
Yeah, it's good
Finally, I've been
talking to
watching
you
you for years.
too. That's wonderful. I'm happy to be able to share this experience with you
Yes.
and
Thanks so
because
much.
I love gardening so much. And you'll see when you grow a plant from seed to fruit, there really is such a tremendous connection between you two.
Okay.
And you'll see why I
Okay.
love it so much. All right, Jay, thank you so much for calling
Of
in.
course. You're welcome, hon. Take care.
All right.
Have a great day.
Okay, you too.
Okay. Bye bye.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
so we have two people who are going to find a lovely home for these collard sprouts. And you know what I think we can do? I think you can eat the young collard sprouts. I think you can eat them for like micro. I think they're called micro greens or something like that. All right, so I want to find another person who is in the New York tri-state area or in the surrounding area who would like to travel to New York to get some free plants that are or have already begun to be sprouted. Oh, I'm trying to get my jalapenos to germinate, and it's been quite the struggle. I My pumpkin is coming up though. I have some little seedling pumpkins that are coming up. And so like some things are just not feasible for apartment living. Like the pumpkins will run 20 plus feet. And so what I do is I put mine on an arc. I have a trellis that I created that's an arc. And so I run it along the arc so it goes way up in the air and then it comes over and then it'll still run. Like last year it ran because I wasn't able to take care of it. Last year it ran maybe 30 feet. So definitely don't want to do that in an apartment. But greens, wonderful. It stays in one place. Like tomatoes, the vine will also run as well. But if you're on a fire escape, you could potentially hold up the tomatoes on the fire. You already have a natural trellis right there as the fire escape. So we might be able to do that too. I may be able to spare a little plant or two of the tomato. What I'm really looking forward to is seeing if these cucumbers are going to come up out the ground. That's what I'm looking to see. So let's see. Who else do we have? Okay, please look on the screen. Find it in your heart to give a home to these greens. This is a hybrid mix between kale and collard greens. So I don't know if it's going to come out as a mixed green. I don't know if it's going to come out as just kale or just collards, but you have the opportunity to find out for yourself. If you have an experimental nature about yourself, please, you know what can you do? Can you all share this video with somebody that you know that is near New York who has been interested in gardening, because taking the first step is sometimes the hardest. Take the first step and then go from there. You can nurture it. All you have to do is just water it. That's it. Just put it inside some dirt. You can get some potting soil. It's going to like some nitrogen. So this last year I didn't fertilize anything. I put them in the ground in May. By June I had my operation, and then I was thinking about the time just yesterday, and I realized, yeah, I didn't really have much time to nurture it at all. So I was surprised when anything came out of the garden because I was really down for the count. So, hey, Ellie Belly, how are you doing? Lindsay is saying, adopt the Tonya DKL seedling today. I know. And that little thing you have, the emoji is so cute. It looks just like these little seedlings. Okay. I have 100 people here on YouTube. I guess many of you may not be in the New York area, which I understand. I have people all over the globe. So I really want, can you do, you know what, can you do me a favor? This is what you can do, right? Can you repost my video into any of your gardening groups to see if there's someone in the New York area who may want a collard green kale mix, right? I was thinking about donating to a co-op as well. However, I don't know what these plants are. I don't know if it's kale. I don't know if it's collard greens. So it would be nice if I had a co-op. If somebody knows of a co-op that's willing to experiment, please let me know, because I'd be more than happy to donate to the co-op. I'd be more than happy to do that. So share this video with people who may be in the area. If there is there any other person, one more person who's kind of on the fence. If you're on the fence, put up a number 2. Put up the number 2 if you're on the fence and you're not really sure, but you're thinking about it. Put up the number 2 so that I can see and I can try to convince you. Just let me know what your questions are. Have I planted any perennials? The perennial is the one that comes back year after year. You know, I have some zinnias that are in the ground. So I'm trying to see how many zinnias I'm going to get, because I also bought some mini sunflowers, and I also bought some mammoth sunflowers as well. So I'm waiting for those seeds to get to me. I also bought a whole bunch of heirloom tomato seeds and a whole bunch of a hot pepper mix. So I'm going to see what's going to happen from there. But so Crystal is saying, I don't do plants, just here to support. Why don't you do plants, Crystal? Tell me what it is. Can you call in, Crystal, here? Are you in the New York tri-state area, Crystal? Crystal, call in 323-488-3149. Let's talk. 323-488-3149. The phone number is there. Jay, thank you for opening your heart and your home to these plants. And I hope that they provide lots of leaves and food for you. It's wonderful. And you know what's really interesting? You know how collard greens takes a really long time to cook, the store-bought ones? The collard greens that I grow, all they need is just a little dip in some hot water. And then they open up their beautiful essence for you. It doesn't take long to cook at all, the ones that I have grown. So, Crystal, I'm waiting for you to call in 323, the number's on the screen, 488-3149. You see it right there? I want to hear what it is, your relationship with plants and what has happened to you. Let's do some coaching. Let's find out what happened to you and plants. Let's talk, Crystal. Call me. 323-488-3149. I want to get to Maine. I haven't been, but I want to go there. She talk about come on to the green side. Crystal, the phone lines are open 323-488-3149. Asparagus. Oh, how interesting. You know what's really interesting? Strawberries, they take a few years to like really get going because they run as well. So if you put them on the ground, the strawberries will run. And what does it mean when a plant runs? It'll like grow and like just find its way along the ground, and you'll just find strawberries any and everywhere. All right, 323-488-3149. We're waiting for Crystal to call in so that we can find out what has happened to her and plants. What did the plants do to you, Crystal? Who? Who did it? All right. I'm waiting, Crystal. Phone lines are open 323-488-3149. Let's hear from Crystal. Anybody else in the New York tri-state area? You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, Tonya. It's Crystal. I'm in Maine.
Hey, Crystal. Talk to us. What did the plants do to you?
It's not about the plants. I appreciate the energy. You know, I like to go walks and hikes. But one time I was growing an aloe plant. You would think that you can't kill an aloe plant, but I did.
Okay.
There was a beetle in there one time. And I hate bugs. I'm terrified of bugs. So there's nothing I can do really about it.
Do you have a porch or a backyard?
Technically, yes.
Okay. Is it possible for you to get a little planter that you can keep outside?
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to worry about killing the collards. They're hardy plants that just need a little bit of water, some love. You can talk to it. It holds your secrets.
Okay.
That way, you don't have to worry about bugs inside the house. The bugs can stay outside the house.
You have a great point. Okay, so my next thing would be, I don't know how to take care of it. I'm not very, is it a routine thing? I don't have the discipline.
Well, you know, the great part about it is that it's a win-win situation, right? So you can meet me. That's one of the big wins. And you can receive a plant that you can experiment with. So all you have to do is just kind of look up how to take care of collard greens. There are plenty of videos out there. There are websites that will tell you how often to water and stuff like that. And all you have to do is just follow those instructions. If it says water once or twice a week, you do that. And then you just allow it to grow. The best part about collard greens is that they're pretty resilient. They last throughout the winter, so the colds won't kill them. And they'll just grow little leaves so that you can just pluck off the little leaves and eat them as they grow. I like to use mine in place of lettuce.
Okay, I mean, that does seem reasonable. But, okay, now this is my next thing. Now you've convinced me to maybe try to experiment with planting, but it's going to be a little bit difficult for me because I am finishing up school as well. So, I mean, well, I guess you said it last year, the winter.
Yeah. And the spring semester is almost over. This is the last week here.
Okay. Well, I have some time off. I'm thinking at the end of June. Is that going to be too late?
By June, these are going to be where they're going to be in their growth cycle.
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
So they're little right now, but they don't stay little. They grow very quickly, especially collards. They grow really quickly. So these are going to start so what you see here, right? So every plant has baby leaves. These are the leaves that come out of the ground, but these baby leaves, they die down. So what you see here is something that looks like a butterfly shape. You see that? And what's going to happen is those two butterfly shapes are going to push to the side and other leaves are going to come up from the middle. And then the baby leaves are going to have adolescent leaves, and then the adolescent leaves are going to die back and they're going to start growing their adult leaves. And so it doesn't stay small for long. That's why I'm desperately trying right now to get people to give them a home while they're still small enough to transplant and travel with and to nurture so that you can make it your very own. The best part about plants is that when you touch the plants, when you come into contact with the plants, when you're breathing on the plants, they'll know what nutrients you're lacking, and they will grow those nutrients within them to supplement you. So each person is going to grow a very different plant based on your needs. So I want to
Wow.
help get it to you while it's young.
That is honestly pretty incredible. Okay, this is a side note. I saw a video on TikTok where this woman she was talking to a tree. She said, "I love you, tree," and like was telling the tree, "If you hear me, like touch my face." Oh my gosh, it was pretty incredible.
Did the
So
tree
now I'm
touch
very.
her?
I'm sorry.
Did the tree touch her?
Yeah, it slowly. She kept talking to it. Slowly started rising, and eventually it did touch her face. It was like really incredible. And I mean, I am terrified of bugs, but again, I do like to be out in nature. So if I do have it outside, that seems reasonable. Now I just have to figure out the logistics because I'm pretty overwhelmed with school right now.
Yeah, I
But
feel
after
you.
school, nice, even just for the day. It's a long drive, but I can take the bus or something.
Yeah, you can also, don't they have like is there a train system that goes from Maine to New York City?
Um, I don't know that it goes to New York. I'll have to take a look. But we do have what's that one that goes to Boston?
Okay, okay. Well, I'm gonna be in Boston in May, in the middle of May. So if you can get down to Boston, I can bring some up for you.
Yes, I can definitely do that.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So you know what? Write me on my website, tanyatko.com/contact, and we'll coordinate. Okay?
Oh my! I'm so excited.
Yay! Do you want to try your hand at something else?
What do you mean?
Like a tomato? Or do we just want to
You
stick to
know, let's start
greens?
small.
Okay, okay.
Let's start
Okay, okay. Let's not do too much. I understand. I understand. I understand. But the great thing about tomatoes is that the less you feed them, the more tomatoes they actually produce.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't understand the science of that, but I can look into it.
So basically, what happens is not getting water regularly makes the tomatoes feel a little stressed and desperate, and so they're like, "Okay, I need to reproduce." So basically, the fruit is its way to reproduce, so it'll push out more fruit, and then when you do water it, you water it deep and long, and then it's like, okay, so here's the water, and then when it starts to feel the drought, it's like, oh, I got to get these fruits to bear.
Okay, that does make sense. That's so cool. You know, I'm honestly surprised because I've never been a plant person, especially after that aloe plant,
Mm-hmm.
especially because that beetle. But honestly, you've got me excited about it, and you know, I love science, so like looking into this is going to be kind of fun, actually. Hmm.
Yay! Yeah, I'm happy about that because we all have we've all had plant trauma in the past. You know what I mean? Because plants can be fickle, and sometimes we don't know what it is that we're doing, and then we watch them die and we don't know how to revive them. So that's why I'll give you a few, and so you can kind of experiment and see what it's like giving water, less water, and then just seeing what it does.
Wow, I'm so excited. I'm even more excited to meet you two. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh! Thank you
Yay! Well,
for
Crystal is
making me all.
wonderful. Thank you for letting me convince you.
I was so scared, but I'm so thankful. Thank you.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. All right, we brought her over to the plant side. All right, one more person. I'm looking for one more person. So we have gotten three under our belts, right? Let's see if we can get one more person to adopt a plant. It's what is it? It's very low risk because I'll give you about 5 of them, right? You can put them in different types of containers. You can even, if you have a milk carton, you could put soil in the milk carton until the plant is, until it's large enough. And you could buy yourself some time to be able to. And then also, if you use milk cartons, you can kind of figure out, okay, what will happen if I give less to this or more to that, and then you can see that way you don't have to worry about killing it. Just remember that it was going to die without you. In the arms of an angel. These little I have an updated picture. Let me see if I can get an updated photo for you all, because I went out and I took a picture just a few moments ago. All right, here. So this was taken just this morning, right? And this is what we have. So you see there's can you see? You see this little fella right there? That little fella right there is saying, I want a home. Don't leave me out here to die. This little fella right there is saying, somebody, please come and adopt me. Don't leave me here to die. Someone. You see those little leaves right there? Those leaves are going to part and they're going to become, those are the baby leaves. They're going to part and then other ones are going to come up. Let's see. Here, look, you see these are already starting to part. So these baby leaves are already starting to part. Let's see what else we have. Here's some more. Look at this. Hey, little guys. Hey, you see they're very close together, right? They're very close together, so I have to get them further apart. So that's where you come in, because these little fellas are going to be plucked out and they're not going to live. Either way. So you get to meet me. I will give you some little seedlings and then you can nurture them. If they die, it doesn't matter because they were going to die anyway. But if they live, that's the great part right there. All right. So as you see, I have hundreds of them that are coming up in the ground, and each one of these is going to become a big collard greens or kale stalk or bush. And so, oops. Let's see. All right. So as you see, I have mine inside of a wooden bed right here. Can you see that? It's in a wooden bed that I created here. All right. Lindsay, aren't they cuties? Yeah. So what's going to happen is if they don't find a home, they're going to be plucked out and they won't live anyway. So at least you can try. The very least, you may be able to get some collard greens out of it. All right. So you have my contact details, TonyaTKO.com/contact, and you can send me a message and I will coordinate with you. We can meet in Harlem and I will get them over to you, except for the young lady that I'm going to be in Boston, and I will meet up with her and bring it to her. So and that's why it's imperative to do it while they're small, because they're easy to travel with right now. All right. If you could only see me screaming, the grands is like, grandma, what's wrong? I'm like, what's right? Okay. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. All right. So on that note, on that note, I will see you all in the next video. I appreciate you all coming out and hearing me out. Thank you to the people who allowed me to convince them to give it a try. If you're seeing this video after I'm off, by all means, you can write to me and let me know that you would like some of these, because you see here, right there on the screen, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in that one area. And that's just a small part of the bed. So I have hundreds of them that are just not going to make it. I think what I might do is I might take them out and plant them really close together and then just use them as microgreens because they're not going to grow that close together. All right, ladies, thank you all so much for coming out. We should be doing a watch party tomorrow. I just have to finish up my final today. And I think that's pretty much it. Okay. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. My self-love lesson from today's video is about forgiveness, trying, and lowering the stakes so low that you have no choice but to try. Someone is talking about Murphy's oil soap and cayenne pepper for the squirrel problem. I don't know where to put it. Are you saying spray it on the plants or spray it around? What are you telling me to do with this? Because I didn't know that was a thing. She might be a little earlier in the video. She may have come in late and she's watching the part where I'm talking about the squirrels. So listen, ladies, it was wonderful coming out and talking with you all. I'm so happy that some of these are going to have a wonderful home. So I'm glad about that. So on that note, I will see you all in the next video. I have to kind of buckle down and get my final done. And I will, and so let me go back to doing that now. I just had to take a little break to do my part. So another one of my self-love lessons from today's video, and I know it's really difficult to find self-love lessons in everyday things, but my self-love lesson from today is about trying. I have been writing behind the scenes, trying to see if there's anybody who wanted some of the flowers or the collard greens. But I was like, rather than keeping this quiet, let me just go ahead and make a video and broadcast it publicly. So on that note, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you so much, Edna. Thank you. I appreciate you all. All right. Bye, everyone.